Um, just what's so clear on like my first listen is it just has this very open and uncompressed sound. And, when you're listening on a phone speaker versus, like a proper studio setup, it's incredible how much depth and punch the kicks have, and all the other, the synths as well. But because it's so uncompressed, they really pop out, of the mix so strongly. Really, really nice. And I also love that even though it is this, I'm dubbing it the 70s hi-fi sound, that they also like, I hear little bits of, distortion on tracks and clipping. And I love that they also didn't just try to, put too much oak sound soothe on everything and just leave it raw and natural from the performance. So cool. Some other things that I really like about this album is, kind of knowing their things that they've said in interviews about how they at one point tried to re-record Music Has the Right to Children completely acoustically, and they almost finished it, but decided at the very last stage that they didn't like how it was turning out and scrapped it. But I feel like if they didn't go through that experience, that this album wouldn't sound the way that it does, because they've done so much really fantastic blending of, acoustic sounds, be it, guitars, electric basses, acoustic, drum kits, shakers. There's a lot of very real sounding textures in here, mixed so well with the synthesis, that, that's also probably why I'm kind of giving this 70s hi-fi kind of feel to it. And I think it's just a great lesson that even if you do some kind of project, and this is my speculation, but even if you do some project like their failed experiment of the acoustic Music Has the Right to Children, that it doesn't mean that it's a failure in your life. Anytime you go through some process, some project, and you're trying to learn, you're gaining knowledge, you're gaining experience that you can then use in the future. And I think they nailed it in this album. Just sounds so good.